Question 2 from Cora. This user wants us to identify a non-financial reason to subscribe to a DDoS mitigation service. Man, I honestly,
Define DDoS mitigation.
Yeah, so this is a service you subscribe to that will shield or protect your website from a directed denial of service attack. So,
and GitHub had one, or was it GitHub, or was it?
Yeah, GitHub had a DDoS attack on their site a couple months ago.
And they got hammered.
And it shut them down for the whole day, which in effect shut down a lot of software dev teams. So, I mean, non-financial reasons, like if you're a technology company that is building DDoS mitigation services, don't go buy someone else's. Like that's the only non-financial reason I can think of.
Yeah, if you have the internal presence to be able to protect against it. When it comes to protecting an e-commerce company, I mean, your website is your vehicle for sales. It's your vehicle for people to be coming to your website in the first place. I mean, it's everything to you. So I guess I don't understand the question of, it would be like me saying, this is my lifeblood, and if I drop this and I'm without it for 5 hours, it's going to mean the difference between, a $10,000 day and a $50,000 day. But then you asking me, should I buy insurance on this phone?
Yeah.
It's a necessity if you're doing the numbers that justify it. If no one's visiting your website and nobody would even notice if your website's down, it's like a tree in the forest.
Right.
But if you're doing any sort of traffic on your site, you're relying on those uptimes, and typically DDoS attacks happen at the peak of whenever you don't want it to happen.
Well, and I think a DDoS mitigation service is uniquely a problem that people running self-hosted e-com sites have to worry about. I mean, it's a number of things you have to worry about if you're kind of owning the hardware presence, and which is why I recommend switching to a cloud-hosted solution. You kind of offload that worry to somebody else who it's their core competency.
Yeah.
If you're a brand that's making apparel, your core competency is not DDoS defense, and that shouldn't be something you have to worry about on a day-to-day basis. It should be handled by your e-com provider.
So that actually answers this question. So mitigation, you can either, if you're self-hosted, you can either have your own mitigation service, or if you're cloud-hosted, or the hosting is the core competency of the business that you're using. So if you're using Shopify, we are cloud-hosted. If you're using that type of service, that's our problem. Yeah. That's not your problem. You can call us when it's not working versus you just kind of being up a creek. So I like it.
Perfect.